I rise for my no vote explanation. So we come here today on a very important issue, and the sponsors of the legislation, as was indicated earlier, I agree with that we should be doing everything that we could do to make our citizens, our world, a safer place, the state of Michigan a safer place. And I know that we all have different ideas on how to get to different conclusions, and that's what was indicated earlier. That's what's great about America, is that we can all have different opinions, different viewpoints, different ideas, and we have the luxury to be able to stand in this chamber and make those laws, and we have the opportunity and a chance to debate. But ultimately, as we debate, we represent our citizens of the state of Michigan. And what we should be doing here in this chamber is exactly that, representing. And part of that process is the committee process, where legislation goes through its procedures and it gets vetted through the process. And in that process yesterday in committee, there was card after card after card after card after card after card and testimony opposing this legislation, overwhelmingly opposing this legislation. In that case, do we listen to the people that came here and testified? In this society of a democracy that we live in, I thought it always meant that the majority rules. That's how we conduct our business here, majority rules. But maybe in some cases it doesn't. Maybe we lean towards dictatorship. Not saying that we are, but we must keep an open eye to it, based on the testimony and the opposition that I'm hearing in my office, and I'm sure you all are hearing in yours. So let's talk more about the legislation. Teachers teach, we legislate. We should be giving the teachers and the educators all the tools that they need to educate. And time after time, educators said yesterday, and we heard from the educators here today, that say this is not one of those tools, that it's not going to help in the classroom and teach our students. Let the teachers teach, please. Let the professionals do what they're supposed to do. So this legislation also talks about allowing those who pass the extra steps to be able to carry in bars. Let's see, what happens in bars? Alcohol is consumed. Studies show, and some of us have been in bars, that alcohol impairs your decision-making abilities. That's why we have .08 and you can't drive, because it impacts your decision-making abilities. But at some point, while I'm at a bar, I can't walk out of that bar and drive because I'm .08, but I can still carry my gun. We know that great things don't happen in bars. We see barroom fights, barrooms brawls. We always talk about it. Someone's always talking about what happened back in college or whatever the case may be when they had a barroom brawl, and now we're going to enter guns into that scenario. It's a recipe for disaster. What if a bullet just goes through a wall in a classroom? One person pulls out a gun, then I'm going to save the world, I'm going to save everybody, and I'm going to pull out another gun. Now you got two people with the gun shooting at each other. One with 16 hours of training and the other with possibly none at all. Is this the best scenario? So I ask to let's just take a look at this legislation and see if it's what's best for the citizens of the state of Michigan. And overwhelmingly, the citizens are saying no. They don't want it. Even if you think it's best, they're saying no, that they don't want it. And that's who we represent here, or supposed to represent here in this chamber. No matter what we want, represent what the people of the state of Michigan want. With that, Mr. President, I implore you all to take a look and take a listen. Open up your ears and let's do what we were sent here to do, is to represent the people.